Right now, police are investigating a fatal shooting in the Algonquin neighborhood that left one woman dead. It happened around 10:30 last night on West Galbert Street, just off South 23rd. When officers arrived, they say they found a woman with gunshot wounds. She died on the scene. As of now, there are no suspects. If you know anything about that shooting, call the LMPD tip line at 574-LMPD.
One of two men arrested after a chase with police that ended with an LMPD officer firing shots will face a judge this morning.
The chase ended yesterday afternoon at the Outer Loop Walmart. Police say Jeremy Bozarth of Louisville surrendered to Metro Police once he was cornered, but he was his passenger who they say attempted to carjack a woman in the pharmacy drive-thru and was shot by an LMPD officer. WHAS11's Alex Dieter and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie take us through what happened step by step.
It's crazy that something like this could happen that fast.
Whitney Taylor was inside the Outer Loop Walmart shopping with her 5-year-old son when she says she saw LMPD officers walking through the store looking for someone.
No panic or anything in the inside.
LMPD Interim Chief Paul Humphrey says the passenger of a car involved in a police pursuit jumped out of the car and ran into the Walmart armed with 2 pistols. Officers raced to view live surveillance cameras and spotted him inside the store.
Humphrey says the suspect then fled Walmart and got into the passenger side of this van that's in the Walmart pharmacy drive-thru and then attempted to carjack and possibly kidnap the woman who was in the driver's seat.
The officer gave loud verbal commands and ultimately fired his gun, striking the subject multiple times.
You can see the bullet holes right here in the windshield of the van. Police say the woman inside the van was not physically hurt.
But obviously she's shaken up. To have somebody armed with a gun jump in your passenger seat is not the way that you expected your day to go when you left the house this morning.
Across the street at a shopping complex, Beth Ayers was making her way to the Walmart when she saw the heavy police presence.
But I got down there and I was trying to find a ramp on one of the sidewalks to get past all the police tape.
She says officers responded quickly, which was reassuring to her safety.
One of the things I wanted to do was make sure that everything was safe, because with me being in a wheelchair, I can only go so fast. So I didn't want to be anywhere that I had to get away from quickly.
The armed suspect was taken to the hospital where he is expected to survive. Alex Dieter, WHAS 11 on your side.
Now, an arrest citation says the driver, Jeremy Bozarth, told police that he didn't know the passenger. Bozarth is expected in court this morning at 9.
Interim Metro Police Chief Paul Humphrey wants more communication between the department and the Civilian Review Board tasked with investigating it. Chief Humphrey went before the review board last night during a meeting at the Shawnee Library. He's the first LMPD chief to do that since the board was formed in the aftermath of Breonna Taylor's death in 2020. The goal is for the board to review complaints against LMPD and increase police accountability. Humphrey says for the collaboration to work, LMPD and the board need to have complete transparency with one another.
I think part of the problem is it goes back also to that transparency issue. It's not that we don't take the accusations or the recommendations seriously. What we need to do is communicate the actions that we take related to them, or the actions that we don't and why we don't take them related to them back to the board, so they have an understanding and can communicate that to the community as well.
The next meeting will be on September 25th, and the board is still working to determine where to have it.
Right now, the Floyd County coroner needs your help finding families for more than a dozen sets of cremated remains. They were found at Spring Valley Funeral Home in New Albany, which was recently shut down. Coroner Greg Rutan says he is trying to contact families who use Spring Valley to handle their loved ones' remains. Of the 19 human remains found, he says he's only been able to contact 6 families. Spring Valley had its license suspended earlier this month after an inspection found blood and fluids on surfaces, containers of medical waste, and these cremated remains. Most were cremated this year, but some actually date back to the 70s, which, as you'd imagine, makes it hard to properly identify them.
A lot of the phone numbers I've called has been disconnected, so they've moved. They probably forgot about them, and it's just something that sometimes happens, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're talking about 50 years here. If no one claims the other cremated remains, Rutan plans to put them in a vault. We do have a full list of people the coroner's office is seeking next of kin for in the story on the WHAS 11 homepage.
As Louisville fire investigators try to figure out what started a large fire in the heart of the Portland neighborhood, we're getting a closer look at some of the damage it caused. This is what Stacy Johnson's house on Portland Avenue looks like now. The home is next to a vacant property which caught fire on Tuesday. Johnson said it wasn't just damaged by the flames. The hundreds of gallons of water crews had to use to put it out flooded her basement too. She said it's a predicament she never thought she'd be in.
and I need help. I don't even know what to do or where to go at all, and I'm sorry. I'm very, very upset. I just paid my house off, so I guess it'll have to be tore down now.
Johnson says so far she's received some help from the Red Cross. Portland's historic Shaheen's department store also reported damage to a storage building behind the store. 6:07
now. Carroll County schools in Kentucky will be out of class for the rest of the week. The district says it's due to an illness among staff and students. The school has also canceled its football game, which was slated for tomorrow against Louisville's Kentucky Country Day, and because of that, they'll forfeit that game. The district says it'll return to class on September 3rd.